Hey guys, what is up, everybody? I'll post this until I'll do this video until I hopefully Mr. Scott goes live tonight because he didn't go live last week unless he's taken a couple weeks off. Which if that's the case, he deserves it. Because that guy works his ass off. He really does. He works his ass off. Shout out to Mr. Scott. Love you, buddy. Take care. Yeah, I'm getting pizza later on tonight for dinner. My sister's bringing it back, which I am happy about. And then my one niece, who I hadn't seen in like 5 months, came over to visit, so I was happy about that. I wanted to cry, but I didn't. Yeah, I nicknamed her my shorty. She's my sister Diana's youngest child and youngest daughter. Yeah. So yeah, poor thing's the youngest. I remember when she was born. She's cute. Now she just has a chunky baby. Sorry, but yeah, she's going to be 18 in December. So she's not. Well, I'm sorry, 19. She's going to be 19 in December. So yeah, she's grown. That goes to show you how old I'm fucking getting. Am I right? But let me just get on and tell you about some rare coins that are hard to find and some old ones that are hard to find. Like, for instance, in your collection, if you have a 1940 Denver penny, do not spend it because that's worth money. Yeah. And also, if you have a 1936 Mercury dime, because for some reason they didn't mint that many, I guess, in 36, I guess, or some shit like that. Something happened to, yeah. So if you have a 1936 Mercury dime, it could be the rare one. And don't spend it anyways because Mercury dimes are worth a lot of money because, they have, I believe 90% silver. Like my quarter I got today that I showed off in my other video that I had to re-upload because I had to redo it because I got a copyright claim on it because of Bruno Mars Gorilla. Get out of here, Bruno Mars. Get out of here. That's what I like. That's what... You're lucky I like that song. I would have told you to get the fuck out of here. Forget about that. Sorry about that. As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted. Yeah. Excuse me. Dev Roadie roll out like that. I'm sorry. Yeah. On the other hand, 82 quarters and 82 pennies, as well as 83 pennies and 83 quarters, are hard to find. However, that's because there was no mint sets made that year. In 82 and 83, there was no mint sets made. Which is probably one of the reasons why people are like, oh man, why the fuck can I not find a 1983 quarter uncirculated for a reasonable price? Because they're all like $7 or $10. I mean, if I had $85 on hand, I would spend $7 of that $85 just to buy a 1983 quarter uncirculated. Yeah. Yeah. But they didn't make no mint silo sets that year. So the nickels, not either. So it is kind of hard to find nickels uncirculated from the 1982 and 83, as well as a penny, but I have both 83 pennies in uncirculated form. And I believe they're both eras too, so that's a win-win right there. And also proof coins, like for instance, the 1952, I think, penny, San Francisco proof penny, only 300,000 of those were made. Yeah, only 300,000 of those were made. Yeah. On the other hand, yeah, I actually heard that they might be making a 4-cent piece or a 3-cent piece to replace the 1 cent. No, we already had a 3-cent buff. We already had a 3-cent nickel. All right. You guys remember the 3-cent nickel? Yeah, that's very hard to find because those motherfuckers came out in the fucking 1860s. So yeah. Hey, that's as I was going to make a joke, but I don't want to assault my buddy. I don't want to insult him. I don't want to say, yeah, that's the year my friend was born. And I'd be like, I'm just playing. Yeah, but on the other hand, Barber nickels, Barber quarters are Mercury dimes, and I have a Liberty nickel from 1906. They're not made out of silver, so yeah, those nickels are not made out of silver. However, the war era nickels, you can get them in silver and non-silver, but they only have 45% silver in them. So Jefferson war nickels that it says 45% silver, those usually sell on the market in pretty good condition. Oh, that's Tyrone Magnus. Sorry. I love that guy. Shout out to Tyrone Magnus. I respect him. Respect Tyrone. Anyways, yeah. So yeah. So whatever you guys do, the 1914 D penny is hard to find. So if you find one, do not spend it because those are hard to find. And there's also some pennies that are hard to find due to certain things not being met or some shit like that. Even a lot of the 1960 pennies are hard to find. And there was only 300, I think there was only 1 million proof quarters made in 1990. So if you have a 1990s proof quarter in good pristine condition, do not spend it because they're stupid. Yes, you can spend proof quarters, but that would ruin the value of them. You know, like I found a proof quarter that was spent, and I was like, hey, but it's like spent. I was like, it's circulated. Aw. So yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go turn on the light. I'll be right back, buddies. Yep, roll out. You like that? There we go. Looks like a titty. Rap City titty. No, the reason they dropped the charges on the guy who played Pee Wee is because due to I guess back in the day, that's how those magazines were made, I guess, back in the day, which is kind of fucking weird and disturbing. But yeah, he turned them over, but yeah, but charges against him were dropped. But the reason I did a tribute to him is because, you know, I grew up watching Pee Wee Herman, okay? And I also, you know, I never knew that happened to him back in the early 2000s. However, he didn't take photos of them himself. Yeah, he didn't take those photos. So he was cleared and charges against him were dropped. Unlike that one fuckface loser who played the Principal Lewis, I think it was, in Ferris Bueller's Day Off or whatever it is. Yeah, now that motherfucker, yeah, sick son of a bitch. Yeah, Sutton Jones, I think was his name, or something like that. Yeah, he can go fuck himself. But anyways, yeah. Itchy. Oh yeah. Yeah, and right now, Cult Classic Cinema, they're playing The Beast of Yucca Flats. There is a rumor that there is a 75-minute version of that movie, but it's lost to time. I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah. Anyways, let's just get back to my coin collection I'm telling you about. Well, coins that are hard to find and that you could probably get your hands on. But like I said, if you see a Liberty dollar from 1892 or from 1790, and it's like, whoa, $17, that's a steal. Whoa, $28, that's a steal. And you look down where it's shipped from, and if it says China or Beijing, China, sorry about that. Or if it says Hong Kong, yeah, that's 100% a knockoff. That's a fake. Yeah, a fake. And yeah. And oh, by the way, I do want to tell you one thing. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I got, but I did get a coin that is related to a movie, but it's one of my favorite dinosaur movies. Let's leave it there. It's one of my favorite dinosaur movies. I had to get my hands on one because the seller, I guess, felt bad and offered me a reasonable price, even though it was like a 13-cent fucking tax on the damn thing. Oh, damn. I know, right? But anyways, yeah, let's just get back to this. As I was saying, okay. As I was saying before I was interrupted, wait. Oh, that's WDB. Oh, okay. Anyways, yeah, anyways, before I was rudely interrupted. I know, not funny. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, proof quarters, proof coins, some people don't like to get them. But however, even though they had, proof coins before, however, they didn't start manufacturing proof coins in full proof sets until 1946. Wait, or is it 36? I think it was 36. Or was it 46? One of those years. I think it was 46 or 4. I think it was 36, yeah. However, you try to get one of those, you're going to be shelving out a good $106 for one of those. Yeah, all because it has a quarter from the 30s in it. Yeah, I think it is 36, yeah. On the other hand, my friend, he has all quarters from the 1930s. All of them, all the George Washington quarters, that is. Which I'm fucking jealous of, asshead. But what can you do? Anyways, yeah. Now, on the other hand, if you look at it, you notice you'd be like, okay, let's act like you're asking me a question. Oh, excuse me, William. Oh, yes, my good man. What is it? Why is a quarter more expensive than a dime? I'm talking about because of the silver. Oh, that's easy. Because dimes are 90% silver, yes, but they're less because that's 10 cents. However, some of them are $3 some of them are $3 selling on eBay for $3. Some of them are selling for $5. I'm like, oh, that's not bad. Then you're like, wait. My friend Anthony Chaboski's going live. And that's my buddy. Yeah, shout out to Anthony Chaboski. Anyways, yeah. On the other hand, I do want to say this though. Philadelphia. No, I'm sorry. But yeah. On the other hand, so yeah, quarters. If you try to get a silver quarter, some of them are like fucking like from the 50s or 30s or 40s. Some of them are like $10, $7, $8, $50, $20. The only way I'm going to pay $50 is if I get quarters from 1930 all the way up to 1959, and it was like all those quarters are included. SPS, or whatever the fuck you call it. San Francisco, Philadelphia, and Denver. PDS. PDS. Ooh, get out of here, PBS wannabe. Sorry, I do that just to make people laugh sometimes. Okay, bite me. But anyways, yeah. Good. A 1946. So yeah, if you guys have a collection, if you guys have a quarter and it says 1895 on it, do not spend that, because I read up on them. They're like worth around $300 fucking dollars. Yeah, some of them are. Especially if you have a Carson City quarter. Ooh boy, let me tell you, my friend, he has about 5 Carson City quarters. When they were first minted, I think was back in 1865. Was I think when the first Carson City quarter came out. I farted. Sorry about that. Not. Anyways, yeah. Sorry about that again. So yeah, like I said, the 53 penny or 54 penny, that's a proof penny, is actually around $12 on eBay, but only 300,000 of them were minted. So you're like, wait, 300,000 of them were only minted? Only 300,000? Wow, that's rare. Yeah, a lot of coins, they had a shortage. Like, for instance, the 2009 Jefferson nickel. That for some reason, the nickel had a coin shortage. Corn. Dumbass. A coin shortage of 2009 for the nickel. So I'm trying to get my hands on a 2009 nickel just because they're hard to come by and they're kind of rare because they had a coin shortage that year. Yeah. So if you have a 2009 nickel, do not spend it because that son of a bitch is hard to find. However, I think I found a Jefferson nickel from 1938 on eBay. It's like 90. I think it's like 99 cents plus. I think 68 cents shipping. I think it is. Which I was like, oh, that's not fucking bad. Which, it's not. That's not fucking bad. But however, if you want to spend money on it, even though I kind of won't recommend it, even though it is a collectible, even though it's fucking fake, is that there is a fake Jefferson coin, nickel that came out, I think, in the 30s or the 40s. I think it was 45 and 47 and 48, I think. A guy was making a whole bunch of fake Jefferson nickels. And I think he got arrested for that because that was counterfeiting legal tender. Yeah. That was counterfeiting legal tender. So, yeah. But anyways, yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I'm still open to doing movie reviews. Or if you just want to send money my way so I could buy more coins, go ahead. Like I said, you're not obligated. I'm telling you that. I had a couple people making me feel like shit because of that, Yeah. But anyways, yeah. On the other hand, if you have a Jefferson if you have a Jefferson 1938 nickel, that's the first year the Jefferson nickel came out. That was the first year they put Jefferson on the nickel. The reason they put him on the nickel is because he was one of our founding fathers. And people were like, but wasn't Abraham... No, you fucking fool. Abraham Lincoln wasn't even born yet. Abraham Lincoln wasn't born until 1809. That's when Abraham Lincoln was born, and he died in 1865. Why? Because some pussy-ass motherfucker was mad because he freed the slaves. Some pussy-ass, I'm John Wilkes pussy-ass Booth. Oh, because I'm a pussy-ass motherfucker. Oh, even though they said that they really didn't kill me, there is a fact, back then, the kerosene that were used in lamps, when you threw it and busted it is known for dyeing people's hairs. So, like, say if you had black hair or brown hair, it would dye your hair red. It'll give off an appearance that your hair was red. So therefore, they said that John Wilkes Booth didn't really die in the barn. However, they proved that was John Wilkes Booth. They just didn't put his they just forgot to mention that kerosene can dye hair color. Well, especially the kerosene that they used back then, because it had a lot more lead in it. It was highly more combustible. Yeah. Yeah, it was highly more combustible, so yeah. I know, right? Anyways, yeah. And also the Buffalo nickel started in 1916, I think it was. and was discontinued in 1938. But however, if you have a 1938 Buffalo nickel, do not spend that damn thing because that's worth money, because that was the last year of the Buffalo nickel. Do not spend it, okay? All right. The Indian head penny. They still made a couple Indian head pennies in 1909. But however, if you come across the 1909 Indian head penny, do not spend it, because that thing is worth some money. However, there is die crack eras and some other rare coins that you probably will never be able to get your hands on. Like if you find a penny that I nicknamed the 11-cent piece, ding. Why? Oh, well, the front of it is you notice, oh, cool, Abraham Lincoln. Hey, he's on the penny. What the fuck? Why is there a torch on the back of the penny? And you look and it says 1 dime. Now, if you get that coin, that's a fucking factory error. That means the penny was accidentally struck on a dime blanket. Well, or it was accidentally given the back of a dime. So that is, I nicknamed that the 11-cent piece. If you find one of those, do not fucking spend that, because that can probably get you a nice $1,000 right there. Yeah, people pay a fucking pretty penny for that. And boy, it is a pretty penny if you know what I mean. Yeah. And from what I heard, I think my quarter is worth 300,000, I think. Well, not 300,000, it's worth, I think, 10 grand. From what I've been hearing. I'm not sure. 10 grand or 9 grand or 5 grand, whatever. Maybe I should list it on eBay to see if I get anybody that would actually buy it for a reasonable price, you know. I'd be like, starting bid $95. Then it goes up to $500. Then it goes up to $1,000. Then it goes up to $1,200. Then it goes up to $900. I mean, sorry, not 900. Sorry, you know what I fucking mean. Then it goes up to $5,000. Then it goes up to $10,000. I'm fucking rich, motherfucker. Woohoo! Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but anyways, yeah. Yeah, and sometimes I get too tired to do a movie review, or sometimes I get too tired to watch a damn movie, you know? But yeah. Anyways, let's just get back to this. And my friend actually has a quarter and a penny, and they're both from the Denver Mint from 1995. However, I can't find the listing for any of them because my friend has, I think, maybe the only ones, maybe. But however, yes. However, my friend has a Washington penny. It has the eagle on the back of it. It has the eagle on the back of it, and it has George Washington on the front of it. And you're like, what the fuck? It was stamped on a blanket of a penny instead of a blanket of a quarter. And that quarter that has Abraham Lincoln on it and the Lincoln Memorial on the back of it, you're like, what the fuck? That was that penny was stamped on a quarter blanket. So those errors right there will probably get my friend maybe a good $10,000 right there. And I wish I had those damn pictures, but I wish I had one of those, because you know that could have made me a fucking millionaire right there, and I would have ghosted everybody. But whoop, I'm gone for a year. I'm back, everybody. Boo! Go yourself. I'm just playing. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, I have 1 dime from the 1960s, and that's a 1966 no mint mark dime. That I bid for that and I won it. Yeah, I think I paid 99 cents for that. I think. Yeah, but anyways, I wanted that for my collection because like I said, dimes from the '60s, some of them are hard to come by, especially a 1968 and '69. '69, dude. Sorry about that. Any Sorry. As I was saying, um, a 1969, a 1969 and '68 San Francisco dimes with the S mint mark are kind of hard to come by because San Francisco also makes regular coins too, but you can't tell because sometimes they don't put the S mint mark. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, but you don't know. But yeah, I guess their coins are more prettier looking and all that shit. But yeah, they mostly do proof sets now. But they only don't do proof sets. They do regular coins too. But you don't know, like, is this a fucking San Francisco? What the fuck? Oh, Debo. Yeah. Um, and also, another coins from '68 and '69 that are hard to find in San Francisco. From San Francisco is the San Francisco quarter, the San Francisco nickel, the San Francisco penny, which I have the 1969 penny. I have two of them because the guy sent me a free one, I guess. I don't know why. I think maybe he meant to send me a '68 as well, but he accidentally ended up sending me two '69s. So I'm not going to sell the other one because I think that would just be wrong. I'll try to get them graded because they're uncirculated, so yeah. But anyways, let's just get back to this. Um, yeah. Um, yeah, those quarters, proof quarters, like the 1990 proof quarter, I think only that was only limited to I think 1 million quarters. Proof quarters were made that year, so yeah. Which I found one for a reasonable price, and I might get that because I might want one for my collection. So yeah. Um, on the other hand, if you have any quarters that are Philadelphia from the '90s, yeah, I have the 1990 Philadelphia quarter. No, I have the Denver 1990 quarter, the Philadelphia 1995 quarter, and the Denver 1997 quarter. So yeah, um, I'll try, and I'm gonna try to get my hands on that proof quarter because I want that proof quarter. Yeah, because even though I think only 1 million proof quarters from that year were minted, I guess. So yeah. Um, Also, if to look for proof coins that are hard to find, you have to figure out okay which one is. You just type it up on eBay by not eBay but hard to come by proof quarters. The 1936 proof quarter. I think it is, or 46. I think it's 46. Well, and the proof set from '58. Okay, I'll give that as an example. That was the Benjamin Franklin $half piece. That Benjamin Franklin proof um, proof 50 cent piece is, get this, is actually sought after by a lot of collectors. Why? I exactly don't know why, but it is. I mean, on the other hand, if I bought a mystery bag full of coins and I got a proof set in it, I wouldn't be mad. I bet, cool, my first proof set. Ding. Well, actually, I did order a proof coin, but yeah. By the way, I did order a coin from Canada, and my currency had to be transferred to Canadian money, and which it took. I think it took a couple of. I think it took I think it took a day. I think before it was processed, but like, okay, your package will be here, and it said signed from. I think it said June 17th through July something. Yeah, I guess that's because it comes from Canada. Oh, so note to self: if you're going to buy a thing from Canada, it won't be here for 2 months. What the fuck? Oh, FedEx. Oh shit. They might be dropping something off for my niece. Yeah, it wasn't for yours. Okay, that was a false alarm. Yeah, that was a false alarm. Let me finish my coffee. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me right now, but yeah. So if you guys want to know any more about coins, just let me know. Um, Now, if you're collecting coins like me, you're thinking, okay, what penny is the hardest penny to find? Well, look no forward to me as a 19. Okay, let's look at it this way: 1982 and 83 pennies are kind of hard to find in uncirculated form, but however, go after the circulated ones. Even though I did find uncirculated pennies for a reasonable price, because usually those uncirculated pennies are like around sometimes $10. But yeah. However, there is other low mintage coins that collectors must have in their collection. Like if you guys know a Philadelphia quarter, yeah, Philadelphia quarter. Look no forward than the 1965 no mint mark quarter, because you got to remember a woman cried like a baby. I don't want people collecting coin shortage. Blaming people for coin shortage. However, not the dumbass not knowing that when she did that, the 1965, 66, and 67 coins became more viable. Why? Because they had no mint mark. So the dumbass woman did not know that she was actually making those coins more viable by not having them have a mint mark on them. Because she didn't want people to be like, oh, I don't want them to collect coins. Go fuck yourself. But yeah. Yeah, so that is kind of hard to come by. So yeah, just type in 1966 quarter. I got mine for a reasonable price. So far, I like I said, I got my 64 Denver quarter, win-win, 90% silver. Yeah. However, some Jefferson nickels from the 30s, no, I'm sorry, from the 40s, yeah, from the 40s, have silver in them. And that silver Jefferson nickels are 45% silver. So, yeah. Remember to like and subscribe and get notified, and I love you guys. And thank you for tuning in to this over 30-minute long video about coins and stuff. So, yeah. I like you guys very much, and I love you guys. And look, my mustache is getting thicker, and my beard's getting thicker because last month I shaved. So yeah, I might shave again. So yeah, that's on the table. Love you guys.